What's up, YouTube? This is Hilda. She's my 2003 Honda Odyssey. I got the EGR valve code come up on the code, so I went ahead and let me see if I can't get this thing to where we can see. That's where the EGR valve is supposed to go. Pulled it, it's ridiculously clean. So I'm like, alright, let's ask the internet. The internet is very, very smart. They said there's a whole bunch of EGR passages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That I cleaned this one. This one I have not cleaned. I assure you it's 80 or 90% blocked. You see that tiny little titty? That's all that's left of what's open. So I'm gonna have to clean every bit of this out. Okay. So I've cleaned these passages. 1, 2, and 3. I've not cleaned the back 3 yet, just to show. You see how it's all boogered up? There's just that tiny little titty of a hole that you can actually, sorry, see that? That's all that's open for the EGR passage for those cylinders. That's it. And then on the cover it's the same story. And again, lighting is not the best, but this well is friggin' caked. And then here you can kind of almost make out these passages. Watch this. Okay, this is where it's supposed to go, the EGR passage, to one of those blocked out little holes. And I'm sorry, bear with me for a minute while I scrape this out, but just to say, look how fucking caked up and nasty this is. Now you can see this clearly defined passage. It was just completely caked with shit, EGR gunk, exhaust, soot, and whatnot. And this whole well here has to be cleaned out. That allows for that passages on the other side. Look, it's the same thing all the way through this whole passage. All 6 of them are caked. And then in here as well. This is where it all comes from. This is the exhaust side of the EGR passages here, and this, once you get to those 6 openings, that's the intake side. It all needs to be cleaned. I'm a mess, but these passages are all clean. This exhaust side, there's a hole in the center that when I started blasting this all full, I found the hole and I blasted that with air, and that ended up shooting out from the EGR hole down there. So I've got her cleaned all the way through. Cleaned up the gasket, which is just a metal gasket, and I'll probably end up putting some silicone or something on it before I bolt it back together. I also got the cap all cleaned out. Now you can clearly see all the passages and everything as far as where that EGR ports should be flowing to. So now all I gotta do is bolt it back together and turn her on, clear the code. Okay, so now it's all put back together. Got the aluminum cover put back on the aluminum intake. Got the EGR valve put back in, wired back on. Got all the passages clear. Got all the passages up here cleared. Got the passage from here that goes down through and into the actual EGR body. Everything is open, everything is clear, and I don't think I should have any more EGR valve codes. So I think all that's left is to put my pretty little plastics back and then clean the inside of this bay and get Hilda back to where she'll be happy again. And for the record, all this puke, all this burp, all this crap, that came when I showed you in the last portion how there's that opening here that goes down through and comes back up to the EGR opening. When I blew that out, boy, I'm not even kidding, it burped, it shitted all over, and I probably even got something on the Accord here. The Accord's name is Bessie. She's an 02. And we'll do some more stuff here later. And coming soon is cool stuff is going to happen to Rosie Red, and we'll talk about that shortly.